Welcome back to Megs Mysteries. Life is a mystery. What do you think life's mystery is? People have been trying to solve this question from the beginning of time. So what's the answer? Is there an answer? We live, we die. Who knows why? Why do some people die young and others grow into old age? Who chooses to live or die? This is something no living thing can control. It's like time, it just keeps on going. Why do some things go extinct and some evolve into new species? Animals and plants, and yes, even humans, are always evolving and adapting to their new environment. I'm a human nature therapist and environmental scientist. I study the human condition and what our environment does to humans, animals, and plant life. My name is Dr. Blair London. I work for a private environmental and human behavioral company, LifeTech. We have companies all over the world. Our main objective is to find a way to save our world. It's not doing too good. With pollution destroying the Earth's environment and all these wars, people not taking global warming seriously and taking the blame for causing it. It all comes down to human greed. This is our main unanswered question. How do we improve all life and change it before it's too late? We must change the people. So we came up with an experiment. We'll try to make our world a better and safer place to live. Do you think we can do it, or are we too late? I'm working on a new theory. This may seem odd, but it's an experiment. Maybe we can change the human nature and save our world. We'll try to find out how and why some humans have a narcissistic and cruel nature, while others go about their day living in peace and being kind to one another. The animals also show what seems to be a cruel nature by killing the weaker, but that's their true nature, and that's how they survive. They don't know any other way. So if they're going to be doing some harm to them, they're going to attack it back. But if they're trained, can they be good, like a pet? Even a wild animal can be trained. This was proven with zoos and circus animals. But we know that's not right. We should leave them in their natural environment and not change their true nature. But animals are not greedy. But if we can change human nature, will that help save our world? Plants also have a device to protect themselves. If you pick them, some send poisons out, or prick you with their thorns like a rose. You can smell me and appreciate my beauty, but don't pick me. And a certain vegetable will wreak havoc when you eat it. It'll upset your system. Why? Because you killed it. People get reactions and allergies if they eat certain things, but we still eat them, and animals know better. I guess they're smarter than us. So this is our new experiment. Let's see what you think. Do you think it'll work? I'll be working with well-known psychiatrist group and other scientists and doctors. My friend and colleague, Dr. Daniel Flan, he'll be heading up this group with me. We'll have 3 special groups to study, men and women of different ages, picked from all over the world. They have to live for 6 months on a secluded island. The first group, 20 kind and happy people. They're the normal ones. Then the second group, 20 narcissistic and angry people, short-tempered and controlling. Third group, 20 criminals and murderers from prisons all over the world. The first group was priests, mothers, old hippie types, doctors, and some volunteer workers. Second group, social piranhas, anger management issues, road rage, and controlling fanatics. Third group, killers, ones who society deems harmful and must be put away from normal society. But what made them this way? Was it genetics, or some human tragedy, or how they were brought up? Or is it the environment we live in now? All this greed and hate in the world. I know it's been happening since Cain killed Abel, humans killing each other. For what? But if we don't change and do it now, we'll all become extinct. The world might go on, but we won't be a part of it. We'll be the ones to destroy life as we know it, and it'll only be our greedy fault. So our company's deserted island, we'll put these like groups of people together to live and see what happens. Will they survive? Which one do you think can live together in harmony? Or which one will destroy each other? You might be surprised. They'll have limited food and water supply, closed quarters and live in huts, no contact with the outside world, and be monitored by us at all times. They're all volunteers. No one is forcing them to stay, but we hope they do. They have a panic button on their wristbands. They must keep them on at all times to be monitored for their health and recording any changes. Our team will be the only contact at all times. That is their only contact besides their own groups. The first group arrives by plane. That's the normal group. They don't use their real names, and so far they're so happy to be here and excited for this new adventure. Second group arrives. Narcissistic, like the word says. This group is angry and controlling from the start. Just getting on a plane, there are fights about where they sat, who was talking too loud, and some just trying to be the boss. Third group, the criminals. This group seemed to be getting along fine. No alpha males or women. They're just happy to be out of prison and given a chance for freedom for a while. No bars, no police officers to tell them what to do. They seemed happy to talk to each other, even if they're murderers. They all had psychological tests beforehand and put into their special groups. The island itself is divided into 3 parts. No one group can get to the other group. If they try, they'll be picked up and sent home or back to prison. This is the main rule. Offenders will not be tolerated. Plus, no one knows where the other group is located. They're separated by jungle, mountains, and ocean all around. We have a secret headquarters on the island with scientists, doctors, and a special team if any emergency occurs. Also, that's where I'm going to be studying each group, and my findings will be recorded. Maybe we can change the human condition or put like groups together and either they'll get along or destroy themselves. We will see. 6 months is a long time for people to live together with no way out. But that's why we have the panic button. For the first couple of months, all the groups seemed to get along. First group, they were like they were on a retreat or vacation, getting to know each other. So good so far. Second group, many little arguments but nothing harmful, just getting a pecking order established. Who's the alphas? Third group, this group is surprisingly getting along, happy to help each other, maybe because they were isolated in prison so long, or that they have things in common. We'll see. Halfway through the experiment, first group, starting to separate, going off on their own, some trying to take over, some small arguments over food supply. They're not as happy as they were when they came. Second group, trying to get along to survive, but some heated argument and bullying, but not as bad as we thought. Somehow it's working. They found out how it is when someone else is bullying them, so they're trying to treat each other a little bit better. No more controlling and trying to get along. Third group, most surprisingly well. They're all working together and getting along. Maybe they can change, or maybe it's because they have a taste of freedom now. But they're out of prison for a while, but they do have the capability to kill. Almost 5 months, 1 more to go. First group, some have hit the panic button. They just couldn't take the isolation from the outside world. Many of them complained and it was wearing thin just to be together with each other. But why the sudden change? Did they feel trapped? The second group, the dominant ones, are tuning it down, trying to survive with each other. Like the old saying said, walk a mile in my shoes. They seemed to finally realize how very narcissistic and angry they were with the world. Maybe now they'll treat each other differently and not try to bully and take over. Third group, what a change. They're all happy and getting along. They seem to be making friends. Also, we hear them doing their own therapy sessions, telling each other what they did and why, asking for help from others, trying to change their ways. They know they're still going back to prison for their full sentence, but they want to be better humans. This group has proven to be the most changed, much more than the first or second. Maybe there's hope for us all. 6th month. We gave them all a chance to stay or go home. Guess which ones will stay? Second and third were happy to stay. First group all wanted to go home. They're not the happy, kind people who first came. So in conclusion, what is life's mystery? What makes people so different? Can they adapt and change if given the opportunity? You see, the first group couldn't handle being together with no choices of where to go and who to go with. Even the priest had a hard time, and he was trying to get everybody to be their best, but he also failed. On the other hand, the second and third group adapted and got along, and they decided to stay for more testing. But what I get out of the experiment so far, it's not a chemical change and balance in people, or a person's true nature to be narcissistic, a killer, or a kind person. Even a good person put in a different environment, they can change. So what do? Maybe we should put all like people off on an island and see what happens to change our whole environment. That might be the solution to rehabilitate society. No more murders, no more wars, no more greed. Should we divide the world into groups and either they get along or perish? Can we get rid of the greed and hate and learn to get along before it's too late? I don't know. I think we have to do something and do it now. Maybe we can finally have world peace. What are your thoughts? Did my experiment win or fail? Is there hope for all of us, or will we be extinct? Time's running out, people. Better change before it's too late. The future will tell, or will it be our end?